Hey, what's up? So today we're looking at Catwoman from Mezco. This is part of their 112 collective. Pose, play, display. Alright, so this is just the sleeve of the box. I already took the figure out. So we get 6 interchangeable hands, a backpack, a pair of goggles, 2 alternate heads, the figure itself, a belt, a whip, display stand, and an armature. Alright, let's take a look at it. So, I know there's going to be those issues and people are going to ask. So here is the figure itself. And I'm pulling this one out, and there's a little story behind it, so we're going to go through that really quick. Let's bring the camera down for you guys. Yeah. Alright, so this is the first one I got, and immediately when I tried to bend her knee to check her articulation, el snapo. And it wasn't like I tried very hard. Like, see how this one just bends? Nice and smooth. This one was the same effect. All of a sudden it just went snap. There was no give to it. It literally just snapped right in my hand. Contacted Mezco, and they said, we'll send you a new one. And I kept this one until I got done the review, just so I could show you guys that this did snap. The second one that I got, which I have here, which I'll pull out in a moment, she had the same issue. She almost did snap in my hand. And you can see that this one bends just fine. Little tight, but it still bends. Threw a hairdryer on it for a couple minutes, got nice and warm, and you can just feel the bend to it. Almost like it was frozen, like there was something blocking it. Works just as well now. I would be still careful with that word advice. If you feel like there's some tension, some friction, stop immediately. Pull out a hairdryer, get it warm, and it should come loose. It seems like it's almost frozen. Like using heat to heat up will help you. Anyway, so that was a little FYI on that situation. Here's the figure. Let's get the stand out of the way so we can stand her up while I'm talking about her. So here's this Catwoman stand, basic, normal. I'm not a big fan of the word Catwoman, but that's just me. So here she is. Let's get a nice look at her. This head sculpt that she comes with on. Nice, but her eyes are looking to the side, so that kind of makes me have to put her like this, kind of like she's being a bit coy. Beautiful face sculpt, beautiful paint application. Not a big fan of the eyes going off to the side, but that's just me. Let's see what else. So the belt comes up whenever you're moving her around, so just be aware of that. Foot peg, there you go. All right, second head, angry face. You see that her hair is coming out from the cowl on this one. Beautiful sculpt, very nicely done. Second head is completely removed. This is a Selena Kyle look. Looks absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. Looks great. Let's throw the unmasked head on for the rest of this review, just so we can see how it looks. I like the nice little collar around her neck as well, in case I didn't point that out before. Alright, so we throw this right down here. Actually, we're going to go back to the other head in a moment, because one of the accessories, I'm going to do it right now actually. I'll throw the head on the stand for you. Okay, so one of the accessories is these pair of goggles. Very flexible, very soft. So, which is good because it's going to go around her head, like so. Does drop down around her eyes, which we will do in a moment. I could see this thing snapping over time, so be mindful of how often you use it. There you go. So it's clear, so you can see her eyes underneath. Like I said, that side eye kind of throws me off. But overall, it's a nice pair of goggles. It looks good over her actual eyes and on the top of her head. So there you go. And I'll leave that on there for you guys. She comes with a backpack. Very plain, very basic backpack, but what cat burglar would be without a backpack when you're stealing those jewels? I think that she could have probably came with a prop or two, maybe something to steal, like a cat statue. Let's put this on her back. No real issues there. Fits perfectly right onto her back like so. Articulation is good. I should mention that other than that knee joint, which I focused on a lot. Single jointed knees on the knees and the elbows, ball jointed ankles, wrists, which we're about to get to because she comes with some hands. We're swapping them out. Her backpack, her belt thing does open up. I didn't even notice that before. Look at that. Subtle nuance that a lot of people haven't ever pointed out, at least not in my, to my knowledge. That's fantastic though, isn't it? All right. Put her back on there. Okay, so the hands that she comes with those two-fisted hands. She comes with the open claw hand. Because clearly she's going to have that. She comes with a more clawed hand as well. There we go. She comes with one pretty much closed hand, but you can still fit the whip into it. And then there's one more where it's the one finger pointed outward, which almost is reminiscent of if she's going to cut glass. She's going to do it like that. All right, so let's put the whip hand in so that we can go over the whip. All right, so we got the whip hand in. I advise you using this stand. So here's a whip, one piece of plastic. It's got the little claw at the end. Almost like more like leather, not like a claw. Sometimes she's had the claw hand. This is more just a frayed whip. So it doesn't have any armature inside it, so it's gonna spring back and forth. Like typically, sometimes they put like a metal wire inside so you can actually curve it and you can have it like wrapping around. This doesn't have it. This is one just piece of plastic. Which I wish they would have actually had the armature inside. It would have helped for more posing. So here you go. You just slide that right into her hand. Like so. And don't get me wrong. I've seen people pose her with the whip like wrapped around Batman, wrapped around herself. It can be done. It's just not out of the box. You're going to need to play with it a little bit to get her to hold it, to get that pose that you want. So there you go. So that's all she comes with. Overall figure. Impressions, fantastic looking figure. Great representation of Catwoman. Bearing in mind the whole joint issue, which a lot of people got pissed about. Even myself, I broke it. So, their customer service, fantastic. As long as you have the email address, you just email them and tell them what the issue is. Do it within the first 10 days because clearly they're not about to be like, oh, we had the figure for a year. Why are we going to replace it? Do it immediately. Check your figure. Make sure that it's to your satisfaction. I had an issue with the Superman, if you check that review. And they took care of me there. They took care of me now. And I do believe they pretty much take care of their customers, especially with this issue, which was a common issue that people had. Does that say don't buy her? No, absolutely not. I think she's fantastic. I think that with the multiple heads and the small amount of accessories, you really don't need much more than this. But like I said, a proper tube might have been nice. Maybe a display case, something for her to steal. I'm sure people out there have customized and made their own. But let's get back to her. She is $80 retail. Well worth it. If you just need one Catwoman figure to go with your Batman, whichever Batman you decide to buy, she will fit in perfectly. I think that the multiple heads is a great selling point. You have enough hands. I don't think there's any other hands that you would need for her. The little toolkit on the side that opens up is a nice little bit of detail there that I didn't even pick up until right now. The backpack fits perfectly. Overall, definitely worth the cash. So there you go. Check her out if you get a chance. Later.